Hi again. We are going on a starter journey, continuing here. And we have done the Fellowship of the Ring. Now it's time for Mines of Moria. Then we will go into Realms of the Elf Lords and continue in the journey. So today we will, as always, you start with Gandalf, even though I really like Gimli, but that will be next video. So this is the second starter box with Gandalf. So let's see how it differs from the Fellowship of the Ring. And well, I have high hopes of this set. Of course, I can always look at what cards are in them before, but that's no fun. So let's get surprises instead. We get a nice Balrog. I don't think we get one in this one, but maybe we do, maybe we don't. Right, so Gandalf the Grey Pilgrim. At the start of each of your turn, you may draw a card. That's just generically good, I would say. Each of your turns. So you always have 9 cards instead of 8. I mean, that is great. We have Frodo and the Reluctant Adventure. So not the regular one. So Ringbearer resistance 10. The cost of each artifact possession and Hobbit Tale played on Frodo is -1. Seems good. Nice starting party. The Ruling Ring. Let's see, how does it look? It's a bit glary. It's okay. We have the Mysterious Wizard. We go for Moria Orcs. Intimidate. So in the early one looks kind of similar to the Fellowship starter deck. Host of Thousands. Old differences. Make an elf or dwarf skirmishing and Moria orc strength -1 or -3 if you spot an elf or dwarf. So basically good in this set. Goblin Spear, Bear Spear, Orc Minion, or Moria Minion. If Bear kills a companion in a skirmish, add 1 burden, 2 burdens to that companion. So you can always boost their strength of spirit. Spell. If companion is about to exert, spot Gandalf to place no token for that exertion. I mean, that's just preventing a wound, but it's an exertion, so which is basically harder to prevent, I think. So that's good. Goblin Pursuer. If the Fellowship has moved more than once this turn, this minion is strength +3. Nice ambush setting up. Flankers. So they are quite different, these Moria Orcs. If you compare to the other one in the Fellowship set. When you play this minion, you may add 3 Twilight if the Fellowship has moved more than once. So keeping on with the second push is gonna be really punishing. So that might land up for a strategy to allow the player to think he's safe, and then you ambush hard on the second follow-up. Let's see here. Sword, so we have some Boromir going on. Sword, Spearman, Scavenger, second Gandalf. We have Mary. He's strength +2 if he has a sword. Goblin Scavengers. Mr. Butterbur, keeping up. Scavengers, Intimidate, Sword, Strength in Spirit, Off Spirit, Runner, Pursuer. Legolas, the same as in the starter set. Spear, Trumps to the Deep is good. Stand against Darkness. Maneuver, exert an elf to discard a Orc Minion or Sauron Minion and a Sauron Condition or a Sauron Possession. So if you do this and you have that negate of extortion here somewhere, then you can actually pay for free. Boromir. Exert Boromir to Hobbit strength +3. We have this one. Runners. We have Long Dark. Clear new support area. When the Fellowship moves to site 4 or 5, add 2 Twilight for each dwarf companion. I mean, seems like quite a nice deck. The Gandalf one seems funny, maybe because I like the spells events, but I also like the overall, it seems very nicely done. Other Mary. Mr. Butter can stay here. Butterman. Ah, wizard stuff. Bear must be a wizard. And for a long time, I think Gandalf was the only wizard in the game. They added like Ragfoot or whatever it's called in the later sets. The hobo one, basically. Bear must be a skirmish. Exert a bear twice to make a minion strength plus 3. Man, that's costly. So you take 2 wounds to make someone -3, but that might help you win the game. Hobbit swords. We have flankers. We have Legolas. We have flankers. We have Boromir. The Long Dark. Hobbit swords. So it's gonna get this in here a bit. We have Elendil's Valor. Make a Gondor companion defender +1. That's good. Drums of the Deep. Strength in Spirit. All Defiances. All Differences. Goblin Spear. Wizard Staff. Spearman. Runner. And then we have Farmer Maggot's Fields. Trollshaw Forest. Frodo's Bedroom. Moria Lake. Bridge of Castle Doom. Dimbril Dale. Anduin Confluence. And Shores of Nen Nicol. Summit of Amon Hen. And our 3 rares are Too Much Attention. Response: if the ring bearer puts on the ring spot a Sauron minion to make the 3 people player discard the top 5 cards of his draw deck. I mean, that's brutal. 5 cards is a lot. We have the Red Book of Westmarch. Tail. Play on your support area. Each time you play a tail, you may spot Bilbo to draw a card. So if you have tails, you have an engine going on. And then we have Stricken Dumb. Maneuver. Exert the Witch King to discard a tail or a weapon. So Witch King, you can make him take a damage and you can discard tail or weapon. So I think a lot of weapons are good, so maybe that's really nice. I'm not really sure on the stats on the Witch King, but that seems okay. So let's see here. We have Boromir, Legolas, Gandalf, Frodo. And we have some Marys and Butterman. And then we have staffs and Gondor, 1 elf event, some swords and locations. I just want to do a quick rundown of the content of the Dark, so the Shadow Play, just to see what's the differences in cards, how many you get of each. Quite similar, and like you get a feeling of this part of the deck, which I mean, I haven't really done it before, just assume that it's nice, but it's equally important as the actual fellowship, I would say. So as runners, we have, as minions, 3 runners that cost 1. When you play a minion, you may add 2, so it's basically a boost. Pursuer, which is basically if you moved, you can get ambushed. Spearman, so if he has a spear, he's damage +2, which is really good. You have flankers, so when you moved, you add 3 Twilight. And then we have spears for the spearman. And then we have the scavengers. We have the Long Dark, Drums of the Deep, All Differences, and Host of Thousands. Well, that was the shadow version of this deck. Seems nice to make people take 3 wounds. That's quite nasty. Because like Gandalf has 4, Frodo has much less than that. Thanks a lot. Let's look at Gimli next.